So before starting programming or the coding part, we have to install a very important dependency or a package which is called TensorFlow and which will be really crucial for the working of our project.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
So now to do that, we have to again use the npm command line. So type in npm I, which stands for install, then we have the -- save flag, and now after save we have to put in TensorFlow, so that npm actually installs TensorFlow, and the save flag actually adds it inside the package.json file, so that whenever anyone tries to run or install this package, then they automatically have TensorFlow as the requirement specified. Okay, so now this will install TensorFlow on this particular folder, and then at the side it will also add it to the package.json file. Okay, so now after a lot of terminal output, we have TensorFlow actually installed in this particular repository or this particular package. And now if you cat package.json, or if you go into the Sublime Text, and over here if you open package.json, then inside the dependencies folder you actually have TensorFlow specified. And this was the main aim of adding in the -- save flag. Okay, so now with that out of the way and TensorFlow installed, we can actually start programming. Okay, so now inside the data.js file, the first thing which we have to do is import TensorFlow. Okay, so the command is import, and then we want to import everything from TensorFlow. So import star as tf from TensorFlow, and in order to refer any library in npm, all we have to do is add single inverted commas and then mention the @ address. So at TensorFlow and TensorFlow followed by /, and then we have tfjs, which is tensorflow.js. Okay, so with this command we have the entire tensorflow.js library actually stored inside the tf variable. Okay, so then we have to first create a new function. So let's call this export function, and now inside the function name we have to put in generate data. So this will basically create a random set of initial points. Okay, so now generate data will take in some arguments, and the first argument will be number of points which we want to generate. Then we will have the sample coefficients, and then basically what we have to do is this coefficient variable will actually be an array or a tensor which will hold a, b, c and d. So it will hold 4 coefficients for our problem. Okay, so our entire problem can be summarized by having just 4 coefficients. So the equation is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. And in this case, when you put in 1 for the value of x, you get a corresponding y value, and then if you put in 2 for the value of x, you get a corresponding y value. Okay, so now we have these two parameters over here for the export function, and then now we have to basically start implementing the function. Okay, so now let's return a tf.tidy function. So let's return tf.tidy. Okay, and tf.tidy actually takes in an arrow function. So inside this, let's type in an arrow function. Okay, so now inside tf.tidy, basically first we have to initialize the coefficients, or basically we have to take in the coefficients. So the program works like you initially specify some coefficients, or it can be taken as random numbers, and then TensorFlow basically creates a graph using those coefficients and then also adds some noise in between. Okay, so now over here let's add in a new constant, and this will basically be an array. So we have a comma b comma c comma d. Okay, and then this will further be equal to, and now inside square brackets we basically have TensorFlow.scalar. Okay, so we have tf.scalar, and then we have to basically refer to the value of a inside this coefficient variable. Okay, so it is coefficient dot a. Okay, and the reason we are converting this to a TensorFlow scalar is because later on you want to do a lot of operations on it. Okay, so then we have to basically give in the value of b, so that is tf.scalar, and inside this again you have coefficients dot b. The same thing goes for c, so it is tf.scalar, and inside this you have coefficients dot c, and then the same thing goes for d, so we have tf.scalar, and inside this we have coefficient dot d. Okay, so now with this we have basically initialized the a, b, c, d values for the constant. Okay, let's just add a semicolon after this, and then now basically what we have to do is we have to create a random set of points. Okay, so let's do this by typing a new constant, and let's name the constant xs, and now let's make xs equal to TensorFlow dot random uniform. And now random uniform will basically we'll give in 3 arguments. So the first one is number of points, then the second one is basically the second and third point refer to the range of the variable which we want to get back. So let's call it -1, and the upper range is +1. So just add a semicolon after it, and then basically what you need to do is you need to generate the polynomial data now. Okay, so you have the coefficients, and now by using it you have to generate the polynomial data. Okay, so xs is basically a variable which we have created, due to which now we'll start creating the polynomial data. Okay, so we'll basically create the polynomial data after the xs interval. Okay, so suppose if we are taking the value in our equation ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus c, if we are putting in x as 1, then you get a corresponding output, and then in the second stage if we are putting x as 2, you get another output. But in this case the difference between 2 and 1 is equal to 1. Okay, and that will be the value of xs. So over here we basically need any small difference between -1 and 1. Okay, so now let's again start creating our polynomial data, and to do that let's create a new constant, and let's name the constant 3, and this 3 will be equal to tf dot scalar. And now this will take in two arguments. The first one will be a value 3 and followed by the type of data which we want it to be, and that will be integer of 32 size. Okay, now then we again have another variable which will be ys, which will basically be the difference between two y coordinates, and let's call this a dot multiply. Okay, so now basically we are multiplying, and now we are taking in xs and we are multiplying xs to the power of 3. Okay, so now let's again recap what we have done up till now. So we have just created a variable called 3, and inside that we have basically created a TensorFlow.scalar and we have named it 3, and we have given it a type of a 32 integer, and then we are creating a ys, and then we are basically multiplying a. We are basically taking a and then multiplying with xs, and we are raising xs to a power which is of 3. Okay, so now after this, all we have to do is we have to start adding in the same effect which is done by the other exponents. Okay, so all we are doing over here is basically x raised to 3. Okay, so we are doing the original equation is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus c. So over here we are doing the ax cube part. So this is a into which stands for multiply. So as we are multiplying to TensorFlow.scalars, that is why we need the mul function, and then ax cube. So for that we have xs, and then we have the cube, so we have power 3. Okay, so now then next up we have to do a dot add function. So this basically adds a value to it, and inside that we have b dot multiply, and now this will basically be, this line will represent bx square. So it will be b into x and its square. So now we have xs dot, and we directly have a method to square TensorFlow scalar in tf, which is square. Okay, so with this we have b dot multiply, and now inside multiply all we do is we have xs and we calculate the square of xs. Okay, so then let's add in the part of c. So now we have cx, so let's add in c dot multiply, and now notice that xs is not raised to any power. So over here this line is ax cube, then we have bx square, and then we have cx. Okay, so all we have to multiply c is with xs, and then finally we have ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d. So let's just add d. Okay, so with this we have finally created the xs and ys variables, and these variables will be very important to plot the data later on.